There are characters in cinema who are remembered for what they achieve. There are others who are remembered for what they overcome. Sudha, the protagonist of Veedu, is remembered for something far rarer. She is remembered for the weight she carries. At first glance, Sudha appears to be an ordinary young woman. She works, takes care of her family, worries about expenses, and dreams of a better future. There is nothing dramatic about her life. She possesses no extraordinary talent, no exceptional courage, and no larger-than-life ambition. Yet within minutes of watching her, we understand that she is carrying responsibilities far greater than her years. Most cinematic protagonists are driven by desire. They want love, success, recognition, revenge, or power. Sudha is driven by responsibility. The distinction is subtle but profound. She is not trying to gain something for herself. She is trying to protect something for others. The house she sets out to build is not a symbol of personal achievement. It is a necessity. It is security for her grandfather, stability for her sister, and dignity for a family living under the constant uncertainty of rented accommodation. What makes Sudha such a compelling character is her practicality. She is not a dreamer lost in visions of a beautiful future. She is a planner, trapped in the realities of the present. While others might imagine how a new house will look, Sudha is thinking about construction costs, bank loans, government approvals, contractor payments, and mounting expenses. Her life becomes an endless series of calculations. Every decision carries consequences. Every expenditure requires justification. Every delay creates anxiety. She inhabits a mental world that millions of middle-class Indians know intimately, the exhausting world of constant financial arithmetic. The genius of Balu Mahendra's writing lies in how quietly he reveals this burden. Sudha rarely speaks about her struggles. She does not complain endlessly or seek sympathy. The audience understands her pressure not through dialogue, but through behavior. We see it in her expressions, in her impatience, in the way she measures every expense and questions every commitment. She is perpetually thinking several steps ahead, because she knows she cannot afford mistakes. Unlike many protagonists, Sudha never assumes that help will arrive. She does not behave like someone waiting for rescue. There is an unspoken understanding within her that problems must be solved because nobody else will solve them. When obstacles appear, she does not collapse into despair. She searches for alternatives. She negotiates. She compromises. She endures. Her strength does not come from confidence, but from necessity. This is what makes her characterization so authentic. Cinema often equates strength with fearlessness. Sudha is not fearless. She worries constantly. She becomes frustrated. She grows exhausted. There are moments when the enormity of her task threatens to overwhelm her, yet she continues moving forward. Her resilience emerges not from heroic determination, but from the simple realization that stopping is not an option. As the construction progresses, the film captures another subtle transformation. Sudha gradually loses a certain innocence. She begins the journey believing that effort and honesty will naturally produce results. Reality teaches her otherwise. She encounters delays, complications, inefficiencies, and disappointments. She learns that promises are unreliable, procedures are unpredictable, and good intentions are often insufficient. The world forces her to become more cautious, more assertive, and more skeptical. She is not transformed into a hardened cynic, but she is undeniably changed. Perhaps the most poignant aspect of Sudha's character is the extent to which her own desires disappear beneath her responsibilities. We learn very little about her personal aspirations because she rarely allows herself the luxury of thinking about them. Her attention is always directed outward, towards family, finances, deadlines, and obligations. She embodies a familiar figure in many middle-class households, the individual who quietly becomes the emotional and practical pillar of the family, without ever formally assuming that role. By the latter stages of the film, the house itself begins to feel like an extension of Sudha's personality. Every wall reflects a sacrifice, Every brick represents a compromise. Every completed section carries traces of her anxiety, persistence, and determination. The building is no longer merely a structure under construction. It has become a physical record of everything she has endured. What makes Sudha extraordinary is that the film never presents her as extraordinary. She is neither celebrated as a hero nor pitied as a victim. She exists in the uncomfortable middle ground occupied by most real people. She succeeds in some moments and struggles in others. She makes mistakes, experiences doubt, and occasionally loses patience. Her humanity remains intact throughout. The film resists the temptation to glorify her because it understands that her reality is already powerful enough. Even today, decades after the film's release, Sudha feels remarkably contemporary. Rising costs, housing insecurity, financial pressure, bureaucratic hurdles, and family responsibilities remain defining features of middle-class life. Technology may have changed, cities may have expanded, property prices may have multiplied, but the emotional experience of carrying responsibility has remained remarkably constant. That is why Sudha continues to resonate across generations. She represents a truth rarely acknowledged in cinema, that some of the most difficult battles are fought not on battlefields or in boardrooms, but in ordinary lives. They are fought by people who wake up every morning, carrying obligations they did not choose but cannot abandon. People who continue despite uncertainty, exhaustion, and fear. Sudha's story is ultimately not about building a house. It is about carrying responsibility with dignity. And in that quiet struggle lies one of the most profound characterizations in Tamil cinema. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this.